Hello everyone, Cricket and Corky's Clubhouse coming at you with a quick little video. As you see, I have Chatty Cathy in front of me. I got a lot of response for the Chatty Cathys that I showed in a previous video, so I thought I would just show a little quick comparison for a Chatty that I got like a day after I made that video. So, and basically it is this girl over here. So this is from the Danbury Mint. So this is a Reproduction Chatty Cathy. And just have this girl out as a comparison of the original. So the reason I got the Danbury Mint one is because I was just curious to see, you know, the differences in what she was like. She wasn't cheap either, and she got lost in the mail for quite a long time. That's why she wasn't in that other video. But the first thing, obviously, that you see visually is her size. So I was a little disappointed to see that she's much smaller than the actual original Chatty Cathy. She's very little, so that wasn't great. But the thing you can't really tell in a video that is interesting is that she's actually made of porcelain. So she's glass. And this is the first porcelain doll I have allowed into my collection because most doll collectors do not enjoy porcelain. There's bazillions of them out there and they are just mass produced. I wasn't a big fan, but that's just what she was made in. The other reason I got her is because it's almost impossible, if you know anything about Chatty Cathys, it is almost impossible to find an original African-American Chatty Cathy. The ones that pop up go for several $100s, like going on towards, you know, $700-800. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to get her. That way I have representation of one of the African-American Chatties, and it's a different one, so it's kind of like something to speak about because she's porcelain and she is Danbury Mint. Now the other thing that's interesting is she's electronic. So you know the original Chatty, you pull the string and she's got a little record inside of her. Well, the electronic Chatties, they're battery operated. So I think I still have the batteries in her. So I will show you all that in a second. But the reason that, again, I talked about the original Chatties, African American ones are so crazy and expensive, and they're just hard to find. So I actually have one. So, bless her heart, she's never seen the light of day on the camera, but let me show you where I'm at with her, and she's probably never going to be complete, but she was a donation, so I was very happy to get her, and I do want to fix her up at some point, but I don't know how I feel about just having a floating head, but here's what I have of the original Chatty Cathy. So, I was donated the head, and her hair obviously needs to be done, but she's a complete wreck. Her other eye is in there, it's just flipped backwards, and then this eye is also pushed in as well. I just have moved it to the front, but they are both missing their eyelids and eyelashes. I actually dug in this one. That is why that eye is flipped around, as I found the original eyelid and eyelash. This one does not have that, but it is sitting somewhere on a desk. So she's also a mess. If you can see here, she has been like cut and glued and just destroyed. That's glue in her hair. I mean, she is just, normally would be something people would consider garbage, but because she's so rare, it's just floating around. And then as far as the rest of her, this is the best part. This is all I have of the African-American original Chatty Cathy. I am missing her legs. I'm missing an arm. This arm is broke. Here's where they tried to glue. The whole top part is missing. And then there's no string, obviously, but then when you open it, there is literally nothing inside. And even crazier, like, look, there's the top of this box thing that's just chilling in there. But if you can, like, look real close, that is dirt, like, actual, like, mud. So this thing was, like, actually laying somewhere in some kind of dirt infested yard or whatnot. But yeah, so that is an original African-American Chatty Cathy, and the odds of me finding arms and stuff, I'm not really worried about the inside because you could probably easily just get, you know, a different Chatty box to put in there, but I'm never going to find her arms and legs, and I'm not going to be one of those people that dye or spray paint Caucasian Chatty, which is very common for some reason. It looks horrible. Not going to do that. Not going to boil and die. So this is just how she's going to be. Probably forever. But at some point, see if I can like balance her head for the camera. At some point, I will at least try to fix her head. The problem is, since I don't have her eyelid, it is a brown eyelid. That's an issue. So anyway, that's her. And this is the newer girl. So I'm going to try to slide her back. This one, I don't know if it made it in the last video because I actually repaired her on my own. She was my very first attempt at fixing a Chatty. And she's only got a rubber band holding her together again because I don't like to glue them back. Well, these don't stand that great. You notice she's on a stand because she's porcelain. But anyway, they don't stand great. And she decided to take a fall one day from a shelf. And she completely exploded on the floor. And she sat that way for a long time because I was frustrated with her. But I eventually got the hairdryer back to her head. I got her head pulled off. These are the really, really hard vinyl. Her eyes don't move. I mean, she's a mess. But I wanted to represent because she is the auburn red-headed pigtail. And this is the only one they made with that color hair. But she talks. So I can fix these. I learned from Stevie Aaron, but he's just the doll whisperer, so it's nice that he can fix those. All right, but as you know, she's got the little speaker here and the pull string on the back. Well, this is the Danbury Mint version. And she, weirdly enough, also has a pull string in the back. But it doesn't, it's weird. So and it's weird that she's like, you can move her porcelain arms. But yeah, so she's jointed, which is interesting, but it's porcelain jointed. And her head moves too. And also, as to note, her hair looks really nice now, but I've noticed when I got her out of the box, a lot of her little hairs were kind of falling out. So she's probably one of those that will lose her hair in the future. So I'm not messing with it. I'm just going to leave it as it is, and hopefully it stays intact. But for whatever reason, Ashton Drake, Danbury Mint, in this time frame when these dolls are being made, all of those hairs are just falling apart. But she's got the open closed eyes, sleep eyes, and she's got, this is a reproduction of one of the original outfits. It's really hard to find. It's a peppermint stripe. So that was a good choice on their part. But she has, instead of, the speaker, she has a battery pack here on her stomach. And you have to take screws to get in there to it. And I think it was 2 AA batteries. The problem with her was, when I got her, even though she was brand new in the box, like never been opened, like I had to take everything off of her, she didn't work. So I pulled her little string in the back and it just stuck out. And I was like, are you kidding me? So I had to learn how to fix a porcelain Chatty Cathy. And luckily it wasn't so hard. So these screws come out, and this is a plastic part, the battery case, inside the porcelain, which is interesting. But I just had to pull this whole plastic piece out. And basically how it works is when you pull her string, there's a little spring inside and it pushes down. And then when it releases, it plays the audio. And what happened was, I guess the little spool that the string is on, the lubricant that they used to put in there, it got old and gummy. And basically it wasn't turning. So the little spring couldn't release and she couldn't talk. I actually haven't tried her in like 2 weeks, so we'll see if I cleaned it up enough. I just literally tried to wipe as much of it out as I could, but that did the trick, and she was able to talk. It is interesting, like I said, you still pull her string, but it's literally just an activator. It doesn't actually go out very far.
Will you play with me?
Okay, she still works. I'll show you, like it literally, that's as far as it goes. That's it. And then when you let go, the spring releases and it plays. So this is the Danbury Mint version. So she's pretty unique. She's definitely different. She's not quite as loud. I'm assuming it's the original voice.
I'm hungry.
But I like that she came with a stand because, yeah, she's porcelain. So if she was to fall, she would just break. She's very heavy, of course, too. But isn't that interesting that she's porcelain, but she has articulation. Yeah, there's a little sleep eyes, but yeah, overall, you know, she's all right for the amount of money. Like, I don't think I would spend too incredibly much, but she is unique and interesting. I like that she came with the box and all of that too. So, but yeah, this was just a little video on Chatty, just so you could kind of see the other version, because most of us don't have the original. As you can see, very different, much bigger. I would love to eventually get this girl together, but I just don't see that happening in any time in the future, but we'll see. But there we are, and there's some Chatties, and that is all for the Chatty world today. So if you're into Chatty Cathy and you found this video interesting, I'd love to hear your thoughts and what you think of the comparison between the two. So thank you so much. Again, like, subscribe, and comment below. I'll talk to you soon.